Good evening all. If you ask me, as I stepped up on this stage this evening, do you think you're a good speaker? My answer would be, I don't know. One thing I do know is, I want to become a good speaker. Not alone that, if you desire something for yourself, life will challenge you to prove that you deserve it. I am well aware that plenty of challenges lay ahead of me. As members of the PSA, you've got a right to be here this evening, but you'll be challenged by different audiences to earn an income as a professional speaker. Almost anyone can speak, but not everyone has the skills or the ability to hold your attention long enough to take specific actions. Tonight we shall explore how to use our audience as a friendly jury and get them to vote in our favour. And this evening I hope to keep your attention long enough for the next 45 minutes or more. Let me share some of my background with you. I've always wanted to learn how to help people. I say learn because you must first understand a person's problem to understand if they want your help or sympathy. There are those people who want to be heard, while other people want to be understood. Over the past couple of years, as a member of the PSA, I've realised that active listening skills are a must-develop skill for any paid professional speaker. I didn't speak up very much when I was young, but when I did, things changed for me. By actively listening to people, I gathered enough information to help other people solve issues in their lives. I didn't choose to remain quiet as a young lad. I was forced to remain silent because of the challenges that life threw my way. Let me explain more. At about 10 years of age, at 10 weeks of age, I was rushed to hospital to have a hernia operation, without which I wouldn't be alive today. When I was about 2 years of age, my mum noticed a turn in my right eye, and I had to get glasses to correct that turn. Incidentally, I've been wearing spectacles ever since. When I started school, I was very prone to picking up viruses and infections. And as a result of the antibiotics that were there at the time, I've been left with a tetracycline stain on my teeth. And I'm very self-conscious when I smile or I see myself in a photograph. Furthermore, at about 7 years of age, I had my tonsils and adenoids removed. And as a result of having those adenoids and tonsils removed, I've been left with a perpetual monotone voice. And I find it very hard to express any emotion when I'm speaking. There are occasions when I stumble on my words because I've got to push my voice out to relate to the audience in a room where there's a high ceiling or the room is long. Further to that, there are occasions when recording a video that I have to stop the recording, relax, get my energy back up and return the next day with greater confidence, conviction and energy, because sometimes my facial expression and body language are not in congruence with my message. These challenges may be enough for me to give up my goal of becoming a paid professional speaker. But life has taught me one thing. Don't give up on your life goals because of a challenge. They're there to make you earn it. Let me explain more. So today we shall explore how to turn challenges in our favour. Moving on to my adolescent years, I was treated as an outsider by my classmates because I wore glasses. Not alone that, I was a police officer's son in Ireland during the times of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. It wasn't easy for me growing up. Consequently, I was treated as an outsider by my classmates, and any time I tried to express an emotion or an opinion, I was mocked. It's no wonder I became an accountant instead of a solicitor, barrister, politician, or other profession that requires you to speak to people. And as a young professional person, I had no way of overcoming my lack of confidence in myself and my insecurity. Working as an accountant meant I didn't speak very much to people. My audience was my laptop, my calculator, and loads of paperwork on my desk and in my office. I was operating completely within my comfort zone. On the face of it, as a senior management accountant working in industry, I was a successful professional person who was paying capital off their mortgage, earning a good salary, going holidays abroad and driving a new car. But deep within my own heart and mind, I was in complete turmoil. I knew the accounting profession was not the right one for me. In fact, I was probably the most unnatural accountant you could ever meet. This brought me on a journey of discovery, a journey that broke me down into pieces and put me back together again. A journey that allowed me to prove to life I am worthy of my purpose. A journey that brought me here before you today to tell you life doesn't give you what you want, but what you deserve. So today, as paid professional speakers, our goal is often to sell to our audience, but this isn't very easy at all. So today, we shall explore how to use our goals to sell to our audience. We'll now talk about how you can turn your audience into a friendly jury and get them to vote in your favour. And many years ago, when I was in first year in college, our law lecturer, Noel Dolan, he drummed it into our heads that the basis of law in the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland is English common law. Therefore, the defendant in any case, criminal or civil, where there's a jury involved, is presumed innocent unless you're found guilty. And that's different to the continental form of law, Marina, where it's guilty till you're proven innocent. So let us imagine for one moment, if anybody in this room tonight was going to be involved in a criminal or civil case where there's a jury, you'd have to think that the jury's got an open mind about the case. They have no preconceived notion about the case, and they have no personal bias towards you as a person because of your background, your nationality, your religion, your ethnic background. Just imagine for one moment you're about to step up on stage, as I did tonight, to deliver a keynote address. You have to think the audience has an open mind about you as a speaker, and they have no personal bias towards you as a speaker or person. But from a speaker's point of view, it's what you say and how you say it that decides if the audience wants to do business with you and like you going forward. Therefore, before you get up on that stage, you have to study your audience. Who are these people? What are their issues? What are their problems? What solutions are they looking for? And most important of all, what's the conference organizer expecting of you as a speaker? We'll now talk about how you can turn challenges in your favour. When I was a 13-year-old schoolboy, I was a good average to very good average student with a strong logical function, perhaps was average enough at languages. But I was a very timid and nervous student. And I was in the classroom with 14-year-old boys, a year older than me, a year more developed physically and emotionally. And to put it mildly, the hard men in the class bullied me. Then there was Mr. Holt and PE. I'm not afraid to say it, but it's true. I have probably very average coordination. And I dreaded PE in the dark winter months when we had to go to the gym to jump over the horse and on the trampoline. And then during the late autumn, the early winter months and the early spring months, football. And I was often one of the last people to be picked to play either Team A or Team B in PE. But one day, Mr. Holt decided, enough of football, enough of the gym. We're going to concentrate on athletics for the forthcoming school sports day. And then I realised that John Burns had a talent for sprinting. So no longer was I on the outside looking in. All of a sudden, my classmates wanted me on their team. They wanted me on their 4x100 metre relay team. I had the choice of relay teams. After a couple of years of school sprinting, I went on to become a founding member of my local athletics club in Maynooth, about 20 miles west of Dublin. And there I met a man called Noel Farley. And Noel went on to become my athletics coach in sprinting. And during the winter months and early spring, he devised a training program for me so that I would concentrate on strength and endurance work in those months. And then when the late spring came, I would transition my training to speed work and my starting technique for the 100 and 200 metre sprints. Under Noel's tutelage and guidance, I became a county champion at the 100 and 200 metre sprints. And I remember those days as if it was yesterday. In the lead up to the county championships, I became overly concerned about who my competitors were. What was their form? How quickly they get out the blocks on the day, their performance. And then I realised to become the county champion, I had to concentrate on my own performance and my own form. In other words, stop looking around me and look ahead of me. So a takeaway for the audience tonight. If you're a new member of the Professional Speaking Association, and it happened to me some years ago, it's very easy to become intimidated by more experienced speakers. But just think about this for a moment. Those experienced speakers who are now fellows of the PSA, they have invested thousands in their own personal development and developing their own intellectual property. We're on the same journey, but at different stages. So for the newer members of the PSA, it's important to concentrate on your journey and what you need to do to progress your business. But from a personal point of view, what did I get from the experience of learning to sprint and become a county champion? I realised that nobody in life sets out to dislike you or ignore you deliberately. People have enough going on in their own lives to be concerned about other people's opinions or business. But the moment you have something to give to people, then you will be in demand. At this stage, I've been a member of the Professional Speaking Association for probably about 6 or 7 years. And I joined the PSA from Toastmasters International, where I had been a member for several years. And what happened was, I took on a manual called Storytelling in Toastmasters. There was 5 projects in the manual, which was recommended to me by a friend of mine. When I completed that manual, I said to myself, storytelling is really of great interest to me. I'd love to develop this subject matter further. And then a man called Eamon O'Brien, who probably know him, Dave and Phil, Michelle, he connected with me on LinkedIn. And I saw he was a member of the PSA, the Professional Speaking Association. So I took a leap of faith and I joined the PSA then as an associate member, now a professional member. And when I went to the PSR region meetings first, I was trying to reconcile on one hand what's professional speaking about, and on the other hand what's public speaking about. I heard all these terms such as keynote addresses, online courses, publishing books. And I said to myself, what's all this about? And I was confused and perplexed and a bit bewildered. Then at the same time, a man called Remy, he was observing me closely. And one day he rang me and he said, John, do you want to become a successful paid professional speaker? And my answer was, yes, I do. Remy said, John, come to my office tomorrow at 1 p.m. we'll have a discussion. So following a very difficult discovery session for me, I walked out that door a new person, and I embarked upon a journey to become a paid professional speaker. So I started to turn challenges in my favour. I published a website, I published blogs on my website and on Twitter, and then I published some introductory videos on YouTube to get the YouTube algorithm working in my favour. This is during the early stages of COVID-19 pandemic. And then one day I decided I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to ring the president of the PSA Ireland region. I've known this person for a couple of years, and I wanted the opportunity to host a meeting on Zoom of the PSA Ireland region. And the first question the president asked me was, John, what do you speak about? And he put me at the back foot, and he turned down my application to be a host. And having known this person for a few years, I was disappointed on one hand and devastated on the other hand. So I rang my coach Remy, and I said, Remy, I've been turned down for the opportunity to be an MC of the PSA Ireland region. Remy's response was, don't worry about it, John. I'll come up with a solution for you. And then one evening, Randy rang me and he said, John, stop waiting for people to give you permission to host a meeting. We're going to create a show where you become the host. And my initial reaction was, a show? What do I know about hosting a show? And that is how the GIFT show was founded. So the acronym GIFT means Get Your Future Together. And we support business executives and business owners who have challenges in their lives, personal or business. So starting out in the GIFT show was a big occasion for me, but I had to really work hard on my skills. And the first skill I had to really work on was confidence, to get my confidence up, because being the introvert, I had to up my energy in the Zoom room to converse with people who'd be much more extroverted than I am. And then I had to work on my interviewing skills. And initially they were very scripted. I used to have loads of notes written out. Now they're very much in the moment, because I've developed my active listening skills. And by actively listening to the audience, I can ask questions in the moment. And then I had to work on my studio setup. So I had to go out there and purchase USB microphone, green screen, a plexicam. And that worked well for a while, for 2 or 3 seasons. And then all of a sudden, my face went very red on screen. It looked like a fellow who had high blood pressure. And I decided to take a leap of faith. And I said, no more plexicam, no more Windows laptops. I've got a Mac with an M1 chip. And thanks be to God, my production setup increased exponentially. In the past couple of years, we've now published 9 seasons of the GIFT show. And season 10 has entered post-production. And for me, this has been a great achievement, a significant milestone in my paid professional speaking career. And what I've got from all these seasons is, know your strengths and be aware of your weaknesses. So my strengths are onboarding the guests into the GIFT show and then having the conversation in the Zoom room with them. And this is of interest to Andrew. We were talking about this earlier tonight. In terms of post-production videos, content creation, and audio work, because in some recordings we have to boost up the audio, I delegate that out to a team of people who work in the background for me. And by having this team of people in the background, what I've learned is, if you fail at something, your team members are going to be there to pick you up. And also, if your coach has your best interest at heart, they're going to observe and pick up habits that might get in your way or impede your progress and help you to develop skills that will help you to become successful as a paid professional speaker. Now, the GIFT show hasn't always been plain sailing for me. And in fact, I would say season 9 for me personally was a bit of a disappointment because I only got 5 guests on the show. But by having a plan in place and a team behind me, we managed to turn a challenge in my favour. And the season 9 videos, when they were published, they had great content, and those videos have actually generated thousands of views for me right across my social media channels. And in terms of viewership numbers alone, season 9 has been the most successful season ever. So on reflection, life doesn't always give you what you want, but if you've got a plan in place, you can deal with life's curveballs. Not alone that, I've embarked upon an inbound marketing campaign to make me more relevant to my audience. And funnily enough, I now have people knocking at my door. People see great value in the GIFT show, and they want to come on board and participate as an audience member. And funnily enough now, I have people signed up to the end of season 12. So now talk about how we can use our goals to sell to our audience. I've attended a number of conferences over the years where you see some speakers who give their book away for free. And when you think about it, we're now living in an age of information overflow. Information is available to you on Google straight away or through the bbc.com app or any other app on the internet. And generally people read books recommended to them by their coach or their mentor. And what I find about books given away for free is people don't necessarily read those books past the first couple of pages. Not because the books don't have value, it's because they're in the hands of the wrong audience. Funnily enough, people still read books. I became an avid reader at the age of 36, believe it or believe it not. But people now listen to audiobooks as well as read hard books, paper books, and e-books. But people read books that are recommended to them by a coach or a mentor because they solve a specific problem. So if you've written the book that you want to publish in the near future, I'm sure you've invested time and money into getting that book together, getting the manuscripts prepared and reviewed, getting that book printed. Make sure you invest time and money into ensuring that book gets into the hands of the right audience, because if your audience is very niched, it's very easy for you to put that book in the wrong hands. So therefore, I implore people to make sure you invest time and money into ensuring your book gets into the hands of the right audience. Not alone that, consider affiliate marketing. Work with coaches or people of influence will help you to spread the word about your book to their respective audiences. Here's something to think about. If you're a professional member or a fellow of the PSA, where do you see yourself in the next 1, 2 or 3 years' time? Do you want to publish a new speaker show reel? Do you want to publish a book? Do you want to publish an online course? Do you want to get CPD accreditation for your Keynote or for your online course? Whatever your goal is, write yourself a letter. Ask yourself, where do you want to see yourself in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, or a year's time? What will it mean for you to achieve your goal? But most important of all, work with an accountability partner who will hold you responsible for the highest standards of production. And before I leave the stage this evening, I'd like to thank you as an audience. You've been great, very welcoming. I'd like to thank James for inviting me along. I suppose in hindsight, as Phil and Dave know well, I could have easily walked off and not turned up tonight because of the pains in my knee. And the past couple of years have been like, as I was saying to Dave earlier on, has been a bit of like surfing the wave, a bit up and down for me in terms of knee surgery. And I've seen 2 consultant surgeons, a rheumatologist, my GP on a number of occasions, and then I had to see my dentist and an oral surgeon to get my wisdom teeth removed, all to prepare for knee replacement surgery, which is going to take place at the end of this month. So, but I would say, if you respect and like your audience, you'll always show up for them. That's the most important thing in life. And before I go, I've got a gift to share with you. I grew up in a universe where, all my life I suffered from limiting beliefs because I was told all my life what I couldn't do or what I couldn't be. But by changing those beliefs and challenging them back, I've turned my life around. That's why today I speak about change, and I became the host of the gift show. So my goal on this mission is to help people right across the world to overcome their limiting beliefs and turn their lives around. And what I found is, if I remained adamant about my old beliefs, I've never become the person I am today. So by changing beliefs, I'm now turning my audience into a jury who will vote in my favour. By changing beliefs, I'm now turning my challenges in my favour. And by changing beliefs, I'm now using my goals to sell to my audience. So if you want to overcome your old self-limiting beliefs, your life will change for the better. I look forward to seeing the people you become in the near future, and I want to celebrate your success in the future with you. Thank you.